Hey, you want to go? You want to go back there? All right, then. You wear blue. Yeah. What white bitch is that? Come on, little nigga. Come on.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. All the success in New England over the last few decades, and this crowd has never been more enthusiastic. A moment ago, the Pats emerged from their locker room. They are set as they'll square off with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
Locked in.
Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. At their own 21-yard line. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Now Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Throwing, Jones.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10.
To throw again, Jones.
What the fuck?
Coverage and it's intercepted.
Come on, bro.
And the Cowboys,
They got this nigga throwing it to anybody.
INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
This defense for the Patriots, they were fantastic a week ago in
That
a
was
win over
janky
Houston.
shit.
And I'm
They
eager
threw
to
that
see the
bitch
game plan and trying to attack them this week, because
literally
when you
to
take it away
nobody.
4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Elliott going to get it again on second down.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Prescott looks to throw on first.
He'll get this out right here to Elliott.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And, Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. And they've watched the tape all week. They've seen it, but what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get him uncomfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages. Blitz sometimes, drop back other times. Just don't let him get comfortable or let him get into rhythm.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Michael Gallup is the unsung member of the Cowboys receiving corps, but he's made some big catches during his time in Dallas. Now in his 4th season, he makes another one there.
Now Elliott. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll try again with Elliott. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. It's a keeper with Prescott, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Dak Prescott, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Osa Odighizuwa in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. And the AFC's Pro Bowl punter last year, Jake Bailey, on to punt for New England. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Prescott flushed out right. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Kyle Van Noy back with the Pats in 2021 there on the tackle. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll go underneath here to Elliott.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
52 catches last year for Zeke, and he's had as many as 77 in a year. I think he's hoping to get a little more stability in his offensive line and, of course, at the quarterback position. And if that happens, all of his numbers will go up.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now Prescott.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Mills.
And the Patriots will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a play fake here on first down. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
And to the surprise of many, the New England Patriots made a huge splash in free agency. And on the first day, they added Hunter Henry from the Chargers. 5 years there, career-high 60 catches last year. He expects that number to go up in New England.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
A quick throw caught out wide by Bourne. So a first catch for him in the ball game. And you know the scuttlebutt has been he's not getting enough touches, enough catches, not feeling involved enough in the offense. So maybe that can get him going.
You and I both know that there's not a wide receiver alive that ever feels like in any game he got enough touches, even if he got 15, right? We all know that. But there's also not an offensive coordinator alive, a play caller, that isn't smart enough to get the ball to them and often that will keep his position.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Desmond Trufant.
And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
So now the Pats offense comes on, and they'll try for the 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it.
And the Patriots are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This is Tony Pollard. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, I'm on that now.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Prescott. And it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And that's off
Good
the mark.
defense, man.
So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on him, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they stake claim to the lead here. It's 10-8. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Them boys, that's, you see, easy week 9. Don't scout me, watch TV.
3rd down. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter.
Let's see if I can get it.
A final shot before break. Jones. Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker.
I just knew I was going to have it. Bro, you in the comments talking about some shit you would have did and should have did and could have did.
That's where we find And Jonathan Coachman
Listen,
ready with our
I'm on that.
halftime report.
You have to show me.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
Oh, yeah, we need that bitch.
On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. On play action, Prescott.
He'll get this to Elliott.
Oh, my God.
They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Again to Elliott. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's no gain on the play. They'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, you hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun.
What the fuck did he just move for?
It's Elliott. Touchdown!
He damn near gave up the touchdown.
Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Now Mike McCarthy saying, let's go for 2. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And it'll be intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And that's a run characteristic of Damian Harris. When he touches it, he gets not what's just blocked, but he gets a few more yards as well. He's been dinged up his first 2 years with the Patriots, only 10 starts a year ago. But you have to believe that this coaching staff thinks that he's capable of bigger and better things.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
2nd and 2. Johnson.
They definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They hand this off to Harris. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Jones. He completes it to Henry. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line. Running out of the gun with White. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Throwing Jones.
Oh, shit.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And Folk's kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Prescott to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Signed in the offseason, Jadeveon Clowney, everywhere he goes, people expect to see what we just saw. Him chasing quarterbacks and putting them on the deck. He's been around in this league a number of different places, but in each spot, the expectation is that he may get double-digit sacks.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. And right side, Henry's got it. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when a screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They will run with White out of the shotgun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Jones finding Bourne here over the middle. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Jones keeps it himself, and he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 53 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Jones now on 1st and 10. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Right way.
Four yards remain for 2nd down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
We on some pro shit over here. Watch this.
So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Now a run with a fullback Johnson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
He really didn't get that bitch.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Jones keeping it on the sneak. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And once again, the Patriots are back out in front. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked.
Oh my fucking God, bro.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna
Y'all gotta be fucking kidding me.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. 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 I know it's a
So nobody on the field was guarding this nigga.
That looks like that's the one that's going to finish him off.
The score that puts him in front here.
That's
late,
fucking
you
ridiculous.
gotta rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last
This shit crazy.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
From the 10. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
That's that shit, how they let this nigga, bro, what? That's some bullshit. Good play, but it was some bullshit. For sure. Get this bitch downfield.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Jones. Forced out to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now Jones. Complete. It's Henry. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead. First and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Jones. This is White on the screen. That catch good for only a couple. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. To throw is Jones. Eluding the pressure right. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Marcus May with a pick. And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Cowboys, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for New England, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with